Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Going to be talking to one of my good friends, Sissy Lappin. She's a contributor on The Price of Business and a prestige properties editor at USDailyReview.com, the national news website, which is now getting over 1 million hits a month, or approximately 1 million hits a month. One of the fastest growing and influencing, and we love it every time we can get the information from Cindy to share with that audience. Sissy, glad to have you on. Tell us about your experience as a realtor.
Well, Kevin, I've been doing this for 32 years, and I will tell you I've seen a lot of changes in the market. I have a kind of, I guess the best term to use, although I'm really not that crazy about this term, is a boutique firm. Specializing in certain areas, kind of closer in areas in Houston. And, in fact, I've written 2 books. One of them was the most downloaded book in the business finance section on Amazon in July on how to sell your home and how to maximize the value. You can just go on Amazon to Sissy Lappin. And it is basically everything that is in my head on how to sell your own home or how to sell your home using a real estate agent and maximize your profit. And there's some things that each seller can do to maximize their profit.
I actually read the book. You gave me a copy of it when we interviewed you about being one of our prestige property editor. And frankly, your book sold me on why we needed to get you in that role. You have incredible knowledge, both high level and intense low level knowledge, but you're able to articulate that knowledge in a way that makes anyone comfortable. And I'm telling you, there's very few things that I think make a person feel more vulnerable than trying to sell or buy a home. And you cut through that with the way you communicate.
Well, thank you, Kevin. And I want to kind of talk about a marketing strategy that's becoming the popular new way to sell homes, and as sellers and buyers to kind of watch out for the pitfalls of this. And the new strategy I'm seeing is where, real estate has become a very efficient market because we've got so many great tools and so much great information on the Internet. And what I'm seeing is where real estate agents will comp out the house, in other words, come up with a price for the home, and they will price it right on the market or a little bit below it. Now, once you hit a market threshold, it's time to push through that and maybe go up 0.5% or 1% on that threshold. You have to look at how much inventory there is and kind of determine that. But what I'm seeing in this market is realtors or real estate agents taking the price and maybe pricing it right on the market or even a little under and going for multiple offers. And, then the seller's like, oh, my goodness, multiple offers. But I'm going to tell you, you will never convince me that this maximizes the value that a seller can get for a home. And I just went through this where 2 firms came in literally 20% below what I said the house should sell for and told them they would have 5 to 6 offers on this house. You will never convince me that seller would get maximum value doing it that way. And this seems to be the frenzy out there. And I liken it to being an order taker for an agent because they don't have to make a brochure. They, some of them are just photographing them with their iPhones and the pictures are lousy. They're just not doing a service to their sellers. So what I want to tell home sellers out there is you make sure that your agent shows you the comparable sales and what is also for sale out there. Because if you're only competing against 1 or 2 homes, then you need to push that price a minimum of 3 to 5%, and you will hit it because somebody's got to raise that threshold, and it might as well be you.
Yeah, no question about it. So, what do you attribute this trend to? This changing approach?
You know what it is I think that there's such a competition to get listings out there because we are so low on inventory that it's kind of a marketing technique or a marketing spiel that you can go in there and say, oh, well, my last house had 5 offers on it within 24 hours. I can tell you any home that has 5 offers on it within 2 days was underpriced. They did not push the market. And so that seems to be, so that everybody can have the claim to fame. It's kind of like bragging rights. Oh, I had, 5 contracts. Oh, I had 7 contracts. And it's really made also the buyers are really, really upset. And I'm seeing buyers that were going to buy in this market say, you know what, I'm waiting a year. I'm not playing this game. So I think the end result is the real estate agents are going to really pay for doing it this way.
Really? You think it's going to end up harming their business rather than helping it?
Well, I think that buyers are really getting disgusted with it. You know, when they go in to buy something and there's 5 or 6 offers. And, you know, I had a client yesterday that said, tell me what the house should sell for and I will pay it. But I don't want to be, you know, we're 5 to 7 people. She said, if that means $100,000, then price it at $100,000 more than you're asking for the house. Price it on the market or a little bit of market. Tell me what I need to pay. And that's just kind of the frustration. And when you see buyers say, I'm not going to participate in this, you know, it's your reputation, you know, and you don't want to leave, what's the saying, Zappos, Tony Hsieh says, it's not what you do for somebody, it's the feeling you leave them with. Well, I think that that's where we're shooting ourselves in the foot as real estate agents right now doing it this way.
Oh, yeah, no question about it, no question about it. So what are some questions people should ask a realtor before they hire a realtor to find a house or to sell a house?
You know, the most important thing is, do they know that area? For example, you know, I get calls for people asking me about Sugar Land. I do not know Sugar Land, and you can't be an end-all, be-all. So you want to make sure if that realtor answers that they specialize in more than 3 neighborhoods, then they're a jack of all trades, and that's not what you want. You want somebody who specializes in, you know, maybe 2 or 3 areas. That's the first most important thing. The second thing is you want to find out what their marketing is. You know, I'm seeing realtors now who aren't even making brochures. They put a lockbox on it. They're not even showing the listings. And we're kind of getting back to the way we were in 2007, 2006, where anything sold. And, you know, real estate agents got a little lazy then, and I'm seeing that again.
Really?
So you want them to bring you. A great question to ask is, bring me your brochures for the last 3 homes you sold. And you want to also say, I want to pull up your old listings on the on HFAR on the internet, and you want to see the pictures they took of those homes. You know, were they good pictures? Were they done, you know, while they were flying by with their iPhone? Because marketing material, I believe, will get you at least 5% more for your home. First-class marketing material. I don't care if it's a $200,000 home or a $2 million home.
Very good information.
Yes.
By the way, how do we get that book again?
You can go on to Amazon and just type in Sissy, Sissy, Lappin, Lappin, and it will come up. I've actually got 5 books on there, and 2, I guess, larger books, and 3 I call them kind of pamphlet books, and they deal with specific things on how to price your home, that sort of thing. But if you buy the bigger books, all that information is included in there.
Sissy Lappin, she is Prestige Properties Editor at USDailyReview.com. She's also a contributor on The Price of Business, USDailyReview.com, the national news website. Man, getting over 1 million hits a month now, and thanks to you, we appreciate your patronage of that website. When we come back, much more for you. Make sure you check Sissy out over at LappinProperties.com, but also check her out at USDailyReview.com. And you're listening to The Price of Business.
She ain't got